Huh. Dashing through the snow in a four-door Chevrolet. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Good evening, good morning, wherever you may be around the world. It's the hamster. Dihydrogen monoxide. It's your friend. Some of my glasses below. Oh no. Oh no. It's about damn time, Chaos. Hey, good morning. Hi. Good evening. What is it? 10:12. Anyway, I've got at least two different phases of dihydrogen monoxide in my glass. I know. So you've heard about the you heard about the twatter, did you? Didn't you? Seems like turned out twatter was doing well. They were trying to sort of shadow banning a couple of things. Now, you may have heard, get back to red rhinos. Get over to the red rhino. Probably not. Polska, you have time to switch back and forth. We could do a raid, but last time I did a raid, I think Susan got pissed. So we have to be careful. We have to, respectfully, in terms of service, but after all. Anyway, turns out twatter was... shall we say, not letting people share a particular story when it pertains to, I don't know, that thing that just happened a couple years ago in November, just about 2 years ago. Shh. You can't even say that. Ike has a stream at 11 too, huh? Okay. All right. This is your captain speaking. Twatter was censoring people. You may not have heard that. Oh, my God. Go ahead, Tucker.
Welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. This is a Fox News alert. One of the most extraordinary moments in the history of social media is unfolding right now as we speak. And it began when Elon Musk took control of Twitter. When he bought the company, he promised to reveal its...
Excuse me. He's evil. Excuse me. Elon Musk is evil. Don't you know that? Wait a minute. Like 2 weeks ago, he was the best thing since sliced bread, wasn't he? Oh, yeah. Well, today he's evil, though. He's a Nazi. He's Hitler. He's, you know. You know the drill.
Corruption, the extent to which Twitter had engaged in politically motivated censorship.
No.
Including the...
No way. I never would have guessed. Never would I have guessed. You remember now, peoples. You remember it wasn't that long ago when YouTube basically said, hey, creators, if you mention these certain things, you will be instantly removed from YouTube. Do you remember that? Wasn't that long ago now, was it? Just 2 years ago. If you said a certain combination of words on YouTube, your channel vanished. Just like that. I wonder if they're, it's just...
illegal censorship of American...
Oh, you don't remember that, huh? Yeah. Got to dig that out of the memory hole, huh? Do you need to scrape the brain a little bit here to remember how that happened? Just 2 years ago, you couldn't say things. Previous 5 years, you could talk about anything you wanted to, even just make shit up. Because, Trump, after all.
Citizens at the direction of the U.S. government. Well, tonight, less than an hour ago...
It wasn't just that, by the way. It wasn't just about a certain thing we can't even say, but it starts with an E and ends with a Sean. You couldn't talk about that other particular nasty bit going around. Couldn't even say the word. Or else you might be banned from YouTube. Remember that?
Musk began to make good on that promise. Twitter shared a trove of internal documents with Matt Taibbi of Substack.
Okay.
Those documents are coming out again as we speak. And what they prove so far is very serious.
He used to do a podcast with some chick Can't think of her name, but wow, she be on the left side now.
Those documents show a systemic violation of the First Amendment. The largest.
No. Son of a bitch. Really, Tucker? No one ever could have guessed. In case you missed the.
Those documents show a systemic violation of the First Amendment, the largest example of that in modern history. These documents show that, among other things, political officials in the Democratic National Committee were directing censorship at Twitter ahead of the 2020 election.
Excusez-moi, the Democrat National Committee was calling the shots at Twitter during the thing that happened 2 years ago. Well. Who'd have ever guessed?
One Twitter official wrote on October 24th, 2020, that he had received, quote, an additional report from the DNC. So the DNC was telling Twitter what to pull off the site, and Twitter was complying. Next morning,
excuse me, hey, if you were to get on YouTube, say, a couple years ago, and if you, say, made the claim that is clearly now being revealed by Elon Musk and Twitter, you could also be instant and permanently banned from YouTube. Conspiracy theory, right? All right.
Of it, a Twitter official confirmed the post had been deleted. I grabbed the first one, that Twitter employee wrote.
Yep.
Twitter is also following instructions directly from the Biden campaign in the final days of the presidential campaign.
And let that sink in, if you wouldn't mind. Taking direction directly from the Joe Biden campaign for president.
One of the documents proves that officials on the Biden team routinely directed Twitter to remove posts that reflected poorly on Joe Biden. Quote,
whoa. I thought that was the Russians or the Chinese or somebody doing something. No?
More to review from the Biden team, read one internal email from a Twitter employee just days before the 2020 election. That email included a list of several Twitter accounts that had criticized Joe Biden. The reply, quote, handled. We just checked. Now, those accounts remain suspended today. So Twitter was permanently censoring users at the request of the DNC and the Biden campaign.
I don't know what Tucker Carlson looks like under all the face makeup here. You probably don't want to see him. He's probably a lizard person or something.
That is new. Many suspected it. Now it has been absolutely confirmed by internal documents. And of course, the New York Post Twitter account was banned. Why? Because they had a story that might have changed the outcome of the 2020 election, and Twitter knew that perfectly well. They had accurate information about Hunter Biden's laptop. The Post reporting directly implicated Joe Biden and the Biden family in an ongoing scheme to sell influence to leverage Biden's job as a government official, to sell the prestige and the power of the U.S. government to China and Ukraine.
Excuse me. What is this conspiracy theory shit, Tucker? It's not like we have videotape of the president, the current president and the current candidate a few years ago saying, hey, if you don't fire this guy, Ukrainian president, you ain't getting no money. Oh, no, it's not like we have that or anything. It's not like it's not like that exists or something.
That scheme, that ongoing scheme that unfolded over years, made the Biden family millions of dollars. 10% of that money was reserved, as you know, for the big guy, meaning Joe Biden. So that was information that might have changed the outcome of the election. And that is precisely why Twitter prevented its users from reading it. Twitter went so far as to block its users from privately sharing the New York Post story on Twitter direct message. So anyone attempting to share the story about Hunter Biden's laptop was told it was unsafe. Now, that measure, preventing users from sharing information privately, is something that Twitter reserves in normal circumstances only in the most extreme cases, Taibbi writes, like stopping the transmission of child pornography.
Of course, and they should. Finally. Yes.
But in this case, information that might have hurt Joe Biden's chances of becoming president were invoked. And they were applied even to the sitting president's press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany. Wow. Internally, Taibbi writes, quote, the decision was made at the highest levels of the company, but without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, with former head of legal policy and trust, Vijaya Gotti, playing a key role.
Well, it doesn't matter if Dorsey knew or not. Buck stops at the top. Perhaps he didn't want to know, Tucker. It's like plausible deniability, I suppose. Huh? I suppose.
All suspected, now confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in public, Twitter and its many allies and the rest of the media claimed that the New York Post story violated the hacked materials policy that Twitter had on its books.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Everybody knows that's bullshit.
But internally at Twitter, everyone understood that was just a pretext. The laptop had not been hacked, and it wasn't of Russian origin. And by the way, as of right now, it's 8:04 Eastern time. There is no evidence in this ongoing thread from Matt Taibbi that Twitter had received confirmation from the U.S. government even that the laptop was fake or from Russia.
No. Nope. Such a policy probably didn't exist. Oh, no, they see the safe and the trusty policy over here. Twitter, if it's hacked or anything, yeah, sure. Imagine if somebody got a hold of something from Donald Trump hacked from his computer. You suppose that policy would apply? Nope, only applies to Democrats. Okay.
Russia.
Yeah.
They just made it up.
Yep.
According to Taibbi, one official admitted that, quote, hacking was the excuse. But within a few hours, pretty much everyone at Twitter realized that wasn't going to hold, but no one had the guts to reverse it.
Yeah, you conspiracy theory people, you. None of this is true. Tucker's a lizard person from Uranus. Did Tucker say head? Probably. Is Tuck's twatter different from mine? I don't know. Maybe he has a special twatter because he's a lizard person. You know. What do you have here? That's Tucker Carlson. Talking about Twitter, who covered up the Biden laptop story.
One communications
with
official
evidence.
At Twitter, Trenton
with
Kennedy,
evidence.
wrote this, quote, I'm struggling to understand the policy base for marking this, the laptop story, as unsafe. Twitter's former head of trust and safety, Yoel Roth, explained that Twitter had to censor the story so that Donald Trump would not be reelected president.
Isn't that what Sam Harris said the other day? Or a few months ago on trigonometry or something like that. I don't care what evidence there is. We gotta censorship is good. Censorship is good. If you need to not elect Donald Trump. I thought everybody hated Trump so much he would never get elected. Why'd they have to go out of their way? Oh, that's right. We're just a bunch of stupid American rubes over here.
Quote, the policy basis is hacked
all those,
material.
All those evil evangelical Christian types out there,
as discussed,
the hoi polloi, the lesser people in the world.
This is an emerging situation where the facts remain unclear. Given the severe risks here and the lessons of 2016, meaning Trump could get elected, we're erring on the side of including a warning and preventing this content from being amplified. Now, this played out to some extent in public. Now we know what was happening within Twitter. But the whole country knew that something was being censored.
Anyone who was paying attention. Anyone who was paying attention.
A lot of people couldn't read it, but it was widely known that Twitter was censoring this. And so, by the way, were many other news organizations. And
yes, so was YouTube. What?
At that time, Twitter received a communication from a consultant in Washington who had taken an informal poll of members of Congress, Democrats. And the message this person sent to Twitter was, Democrats in Congress support the censorship. And we're quoting, they don't think the First Amendment is absolute. In other words, sitting members of Congress were encouraging censorship to affect the outcome of a presidential election. That is
no shit. And in other news, water's wet.
Legal. It is effectively election rigging, and it is a direct attack on our Bill of Rights by people who have sworn to uphold the Bill of Rights.
Do you think they fucking care about our Bill of Rights, Tucker? Come on now. Come on, you of all people know. We got a uniparty in Washington, D.C. It's us and them. And we're not them. We're the us.
You got to hope someone will be held accountable for this.
No, it's not going to happen.
So back to the documents. Within Twitter, others, presumably all voting Democrats, but some with some integrity, kept raising questions about this. Former Vice President of Global Communications, Brandon Borman, asked, quote, "Can we truthfully claim this is part of the policy?"
You mean somebody wasn't so intoxicated from the Kool-Aid? Brandon Borman, congratulations.
In other words, is this consistent with the rules?
No. Doesn't matter what the rules are. Just make shit up. Because evil Trump.
Then the general counsel of Twitter, Jim Baker, that would be the former FBI general counsel, who was directly involved in the FBI's interview with Michael Flynn when his life was destroyed for political reasons, signed off on the continued censorship. The former FBI official signed off. Quote, "Caution is warranted," said Baker.
Well, because Trump, obviously. Now, what's interesting is people who hate Trump will naturally say, we had to do something. You know, even if Twitter is violating this and that and the government is doing that, we don't care. You got to get rid of Trump because he's the evil, he's the danger, he's the Nazi, he's the whatever. See, that's not the way it's supposed to work. Rules are rules. They apply to everybody. Right? Nope.
Let's hope we hear from Mr. Baker in a congressional hearing very soon.
All right.
So throughout all of this, the record shows, at least as of right now, only one elected official in the entire Democratic Party, that would be Ro Khanna of Silicon Valley, a Democrat, voicing any concern at all. So Khanna reached out to Vijaya Gotti, and here's what he wrote. "This seems to be a violation of the First Amendment principles. And I say this as a total Biden partisan." But he was completely blown off by Vijaya Gotti.
Yep.
By the way, good for him.
Nothing is too much. Nothing to get rid of the evil Nazi, Adolf Trump. Even violating basic principles. Doesn't matter. Just ask Sam Harris.
Too, but apparently sort of a real one.
Yeah.
Within days, someone called Carl Szabo with the research firm NetChoice advised Twitter executives that on Capitol Hill, Democrats were very happy with this. They supported the censorship. So as we said, this thread exposing internal documents from Twitter, as transcribed with commentary by Matt Taibbi, is still ongoing. It is still flowing forth as we speak. We'll bring you new information as it comes.
Do you think they give a shit, Tucker? Nothing's going to happen. Nobody's going to get charged with anything. They'll just say something like, well, yeah, but I mean, Hunter, he's a crack smoking, whore chaser. It doesn't matter. He didn't run. He wasn't running for president. So everything is fine. Oh, Donald Trump has a fourth cousin who said something about the, oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Unbelievable. And again, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't that long ago where you could not say certain things about a certain... It was misinformation. Well, gee, it turns out a couple years later, maybe that misinformation wasn't so misinformation. You know, can't say that yet. Okay. The thing that shall not be mentioned. I think you know what it is. Yeah. All right, go ahead. Oh, did Susan whack me already? No, couldn't be. Find your fit at Belmont University. Yes.
Let's move on to the stupid royal racism scandal, because this...
Yeah, let's do that. Very good audio, by the way. Sargon. So that's good.
Is pathetic. It's worse than pathetic, actually, but it does harken back to the first segment.
So we're going to talk to the people from England about this, this poor victim. Oh, my God.
We did, where, as you were saying, someone has the whip hand over us, and it's very evident at who, and this is a racial who, has
careful now, sorry.
The whip hand over the other who.
Did you say whip hand? Doesn't have some connotations there, Woody? Oh my God.
Because of simply the response to what is a total non-event in my mind. But anyway, before we begin, if you would like to support us, go over to our merch store, merch.lotuseats.com, and buy a t-shirt.
Sure.
It's a great way of supporting us. And
gets to get a coffee mug or whatever. long story short, we talked about this last night. I'll make it real brief. 83-year-old Queen, whatever. She was a good friend of Queen Elizabeth and was with her for 60 years, right? Started like 1960, 61 when Queen Elizabeth first became queen in the 50s. She was her best friend, or I don't know what her name. She's her person, right? So she allegedly said something that came across to a victim, a professional victim, as offensive. And that 83-year-old woman has now been canceled. No longer works for the royal family.
And then you get something nice.
For words. For words.
And I love this. This is a kind of extraction from the social net. Okay, fair enough. Good point. And I take the interaction between Lady Sarah Hussey and Ngozi Fulani, where they're at some sort of royal dinner.
What's her name? Ngozi Fulani?
Those names are hilarious, don't they? It's like a comedy sketch.
Oh, yeah.
Hussey versus
Fulani. Ngozi
Fulani.
Fulani.
Great.
I mean, it's getting very Monty Python-esque vibes from British politics these days. But basically, it came from her essentially saying, well, okay, where are you really from?
Excuse me. You're saying politics is a clown show. Got it.
It's like, oh, God,
It's the oldest one in the book. I've had it all my life. It really it's a Lenny Henry sketch, actually. Yes. Where are you from? No, where are you really from?
Yeah.
Where are you really from? Like I used to have it all the time. I'm from Mansfield, Nottinghamshire.
Sure.
Yeah. So she asked this professional victim, so where are you from? And she's a native, I think born in the Caribbean, one of the Caribbean islands, moved to England. So she's British, clearly. But what Lady Hussey was trying to say is, excuse me, where do your relatives come from Africa? Offensive, fairly.
So people say
offensive.
to me, where are you from? I'm like, London. They're like, where are you really from? Oh, from...
Worth canceling. An 83-year-old woman. Isn't there some, I don't know, I guess, well, she is, she's white after all.
Where are you really from? Oh, Mansfield. And then eventually I'm like, do you want to know what my ethnicity is?
Yeah.
Do you want to know my heritage? You can ask that. That's an okay
fine.
question.
No.
It doesn't make you racist. Yeah. And that's what most people want to find out.
Yeah.
But even if you're not of an ethnic minority state, or what's the new term for these? What's the new term if you're not brown? Well, if you're not a person of color, it's still an appropriate question to ask someone, like, where are you from? No, where's your family from? Or where are you really from?
Well,
like,
some European comes over with a strange accent. I'm like, where are you from?
But even if it's two English people talking together, it's like, well, are you from Yorkshire?
Where are you from? Manchester. You sound like you might have Oh, no. See, the normal rules don't apply if you're a professional victim.
Which part? Like,
absolutely.
It's a genuine question, and people are interested in people. People
not if you're a professional victim.
I've always been interested in people.
And you ask it in order to be able to follow it up with some more information about the person. So it's like it's getting to know one another.
Oh yeah, where'd you go to school, or where'd you whatever. It's just normal conversation, for God's sake. Cancel her. Do it now.
It would only be racist if you said, I don't like people from where you're from.
Or if she came out and said, you look like an N-word. Are you from Africa? Where all the other N-words hang out. No one would disagree. That would be very racist and insulting and probably deserve a cancellation. But for asking her where she's from, come on.
I can't even imagine saying that I haven't heard that from somewhere. The guy comes over, where are you from? France. Oh, I don't like people from France. Like, you would never do it. You would never do it, would you? It's insane.
No, not from French. Not the frog.
But anyway, so this is apparently the conversation, right? Can we get the next one up? So we'll go through the conversation. Can you get that the second picture up, please?
The fact that she's transcribed the conversation as well. First of all, I think that's illegal. But second of all, it's such bad form, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But we'll take her word for this. We'll take it as true. Where are you from? Me, Sister Space. No, where do you come from? We're based in Hackney. No, what part of Africa are you from? I don't know. They didn't leave any records.
That's just rude.
That is.
What part of Africa are you from? You're a person of color, aren't you? Oh my God. Silly conversation, perhaps. Worth getting canceled? Not real.
You must know where you're from. I spent some time in France. Where are you from? Here, UK. No, but what nationality are you? I'm born here and I'm British. No, but where do you really come from? Where do your people come from?
That would have been a better way, maybe. You know, where's your ancestry? Where's your origin? What's your origin story? Blah, blah, blah. Maybe that would have been a better way to phrase it. I don't know. Now, the interesting thing is that if this woman, who, by the way, was dressed in African-like garb, she had sort of her African roots, I guess. I don't know. If they wouldn't have said anything to her, she would have been equally as offended. Oh, my God. See? The racist hatred of the royal family. They wouldn't even talk to me. You can't fucking win. That's the point.
My people, lady, what is this? Oh, I can see I'm going to have a challenge getting you to say where you're from. When did you first come here? Lady, I'm a British national. My parents came here in the 50s.
Remember, this is an 83-year-old woman. 63 or 60-some year history with the royal family. Not once in 6 decades has anyone accused this woman of being a racist. Not once. And suddenly, out of the blue, boom, cancel her.
When, I knew we'd get there in the end, you're Caribbean. No, lady, I'm of African heritage, Caribbean descent, and British nationality.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
So she's Afro-Caribbean.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
End of story. Unless you're a professional, perpetual victim. Can't just let it go. You can't say, where are you from? Well, my family was moved to the Caribbean from Africa in the 1840s, and we have a big family. And I'm from England. I was born here. Oh, cool, great.
it's not that she's not proud of this fact, because she's got a whole company set up.
We'll get into just how
Okay.
proud of this she is.
Yeah, she runs a domestic violence program for women in England, which is laudable. Yeah, help women. Except if you're white. See, if you're a white woman, don't call sister whatever. It's not for you. Just other than white people.
Right.
Nothing racist about that, though. Of course not.
But even at the event, she wasn't like. Look at what she's wearing. She
Yes.
wasn't wearing.
I mean, clearly in England, if you're a person of color, you're a woman of color, and you're having a domestic violence situation, you can't just call the police, or there are no services available for you in England because you're a person of color. So we have to have a different charity only supporting people of color. See how this works? That's how bad it is in England. If a third or 40% of your population of color don't have services available if they're in this situation. Just white people, right?
Wearing traditional English garb.
Got it.
I don't know what custom that is. I don't think that's Caribbean. It looks more African to me.
Looks like it's actually a nice outfit. I think it looks
But
good.
that is clearly an interesting way to dress. She's making a statement. She
That
wants
is
to be recognized as different.
Yes, that is precisely it. I mean,
Yeah.
this is no one national costume of an African country either. She's got various various different like Nigerian
A melange, you might say.
dress or Ghanaian beads
Her accessories are just out of this world. Look at those.
and
Right.
Egyptian earrings.
Right.
If-
So she's
if-
confused.
well, not even necessarily she's confused. She's just abstract from it.
Okay.
Right? She's a
Oh.
Pan-Africanist. If you can go to the next image, in fact, John,
Well, what country is Pan Africa? Where's that
Um,
at?
you see wearing like leopard like things, and it's just like, okay, so you're essentially cosplaying as someone
Yeah.
from Africa.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
sure.
You're not from Africa. You're from Britain, as you said. Your parents are from the Caribbean. Those is all normal. It's all completely
Sure.
normal,
Yeah.
completely unsurprising. But you dress as if you come from some strange remote place in Africa.
See, what white people have to understand is you can't even talk to a person of color because that's racist. Why is it racist, Hamster? Because you exist as a white person. That's why.
Yeah.
And that's why she was like, if you go to the next one as well, John, like again, you can see like the Egyptian earrings,
Yeah.
the sort of Pan-Africanist coloring on the headband and stuff like
Yeah.
this.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it looks nice, All right.
Like-
Ethiopian there. There's big.
Yeah,
And she's got dreadlocks,
Ethiopian. And
too.
it's like, right, so
Excuse me. Wait, hold on just 1 second. She is from England, right? Born in English, British citizen, whatever, born in London or Hackney or wherever the hell it was. Isn't that cultural appropriation to wear dreadlocks if you're English?
when she's like, "Where do you come from?" Me,
Oh, that's right. What's wrong with you? Those rules don't apply to people who are not white.
maybe she's looking at what you're wearing and what you're presenting and saying, "I don't know where in Africa that's from."
Yeah.
You know, because you appear to be signaling that you are from a particular
Yeah, she's got like what is this? An Ankh, Egyptian Ankh. Is that how they call it? Ankh?
place in Africa.
Yeah.
And then dreadlocks, which is
Sure.
a Caribbean thing as well.
Yep.
There's all kinds of stuff going on
You
there.
can't have that.
She wants to be recognized
as non-British.
Imagine if a lily white bread, Wonder Bread woman walked in with this outfit on. Oh my God, you're appropriating everything, you evil racist.
You know, she's not saying I'm from Hackney.
I think she set out, and I'm.
You think?
This might be wrong,
Calvin?
but I think she set out to take
so?
offense.
No. No way.
Yes, and by the end of it, we'll be able to show that that's probably the case.
No way.
And the lady she was talking.
I mean, clearly these two are, well, I mean, just, you could see people like this down at it's not even go there. Diogenes Dworkinson. Hey, I don't know why you didn't get a notification. It's YouTube, man. I have no idea how this frigging thing even works anymore. Sorry, but if you want to like this little stream, please feel free.
To was lazy Susan Hussey. If we can just see the next picture,
Yeah.
She's in her 80s.
I mean, look at this obvious Nazi. Look at her. You can see it. Look.
Yep.
Look upon Hitler.
You know, she's just. I mean, she probably thought herself to in an attempt to be culturally sensitive.
Well, she was clearly making an effort to talk to this lady.
I mean, this is one generation back. And things were different when these people were younger, right? It's an unfortunate part of our history. There was a lot of racism. There was a lot of N-words. There was a lot of discrimination against black people. That much is true.
Yes. And
not trying to make excuses, but different generation. Maybe she doesn't quite have the understanding she needs. But beside the point, she didn't fucking do anything wrong here. The woman just wanted to know where in Africa she was kind of from. What is her heritage? That's it. That's it. No big deal, except if you're a professional victim.
Find out where, to try and, I don't, she may have been
professional, personal. God. A professional person of color victim
into Africa or something in a youth or something like this and say, I went there and, whatever, nothing
From
wrong.
my experience.
Read what this tweet says here. Public service announcement. The Meghan Markle thing wasn't a one-off. Someone was accused of being a racist toward Meghan Markle because apparently Meghan Markle is a person of color. I had no fucking idea. Okay, I guess she's whatever. As if I give a flying fuck. The royal family and the staff revel in their racism. Yes. This is Lady Susan Hussey, who was hurriedly sacked today by the royal family for, she's obviously. She used to be in the trade, apparently, a million years ago. I don't know who this person is. I can't read the tweet, but this is the kind of shit that's been floating around about this woman. Racist, her grandfather was in the trade. You know what I'm getting at.
As racists, they tend to
just make shit up. It doesn't matter if it's true. Just make it up. It doesn't matter at this point.
They don't tend to come up to me and ask me questions and try to have a conversation with me.
They don't have a polite inquiry about your family history and background.
No.
They tend to shout slurs, right?
Yeah.
Weird. It's weird. Racism's taken on such strange and
most certainly
convoluted forms these days.
It's because we've almost eradicated it, so we're having to invent it where it doesn't exist.
That's exactly right, Father Calvin.
Yes, that's exactly right. Anyway, so moving on, the BBC jumped in on this. They were like, brilliant, racism,
of course
got it.
Oh, they would have loved it. They've been lapping it up.
Oh yeah. Ngozi Fulani said she was completely stunned.
Ngozi Fulani.
That anyone would care.
And is that her actual name as well?
No.
I believe it is.
Turns out it isn't.
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
I believe it
It's
is.
not a very Caribbean name as well.
No, it's not. Although I don't know. I mean, maybe she's adopted it. I couldn't find any information about it. But
I think someone said that, in fact, it's not her real name. But
she said that she felt that this was a form of abuse.
don't know if it's true.
Asking her questions.
Yes.
Don't want to waste my time even trying to find out. I don't care.
She's not going to get very far in life, is she? If
No.
she thinks it's abusive to ask her questions.
Yeah.
But also, why present yourself in such a confusing manner and then get offended and call it abusive when people are like, so where are you from?
Because she's a professional victim. That's her grift, Sargon. It's the way these people work.
So tell us about Sister Space.
Yes, let's talk about Sister Space. This is a domestic violence support charity, which is a noble endeavor, obviously. They say, at Sister Space, we support women and families affected by domestic abuse while also ensuring that cultural factors are not only considered but understood.
Unless you're white. Unless you're a white domestic violence victim. Then go away.
We are experts on the intersectionality of racism and gender-based violence, and they're working to improve
families affected by domestic violence, ensuring the cultural factors and not only through our work, we aim to ensure the cultural barrier. Cultural barriers and biases are removed, and that our service users are given equal support from us and any other agency they go to for help. We are experts. Oh, God. On the intersectionality of racism and gender-based violence. And are working to improve the violence against women and girls sector, and end ignorance around the Black experience of domestic abuse. Okay.
Improve the violence against I think they mean reduce the violence against women and girls.
Yeah. Support
and end ignorance around the Black experience of domestic abuse.
I wonder if you're a Black lady or a lady of color in England. Is being a victim of domestic violence somehow worse for you? I don't know. I'm honestly asking the question. Why would it be any different than if you're white or Black or orange or whatever? What difference does it make? You're getting beat up by a man or something, or most likely your lesbian partner.
And they also tell us that 86% of African Caribbean women have been abused.
Okay, well, that's a lot. That's terrible.
But the headline here is this is a company set up specifically for African and Caribbean heritage.
Yes, that's right. So, you white English girls do not apply.
Yeah, well, not a non-profit, I imagine it is.
Right.
Charity.
Sure.
Yeah.
But those are the three words they use quite a lot on this, and the headline at the top was African Caribbean heritage.
Constantly.
Therefore, asking her about her heritage should be something she's used to talking about. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, how would she describe? I mean, that could have been part of the conversation. I'm Sister Soldier from the sisterhood here. We're a domestic violence for African and Caribbean, women. Oh, really? So, where are you from in Africa? Could have been something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Fully.
And you would think she would want to talk.
Yeah, because she's got a whole organization set up about it.
How would she be able to explain if somebody didn't? Tell me about your organization. Oh, for African and Caribbean women. Offensive speech.
Exactly right.
Actually, that's a good segue.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I'm Afro-Caribbean. And my organization,
Because I find that African or Caribbean women aren't being properly supported when they've been abused. But
Yeah. Great. Yeah. If that's the case, wonderful. Yeah. Domestic violence sucks. So nobody supports that. So good for her. But white women apparently need not apply.
You think that would be completely normal?
And you're right, a very noble cause.
Do we even have to? We don't have to mention men, do we? Men need not apply. By the way, you may have noticed that domestic abuse, but only against women. That happen to men because men are always.
Absolutely, and
you want the royal family to know about it.
Yeah.
Well,
you'd want anyone influential to know about it, so you can get patrons and support.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But instead, you ask me a question, and I can frame you as a racist. And it's interesting as well. Like Callum found this, which is a good question. Who are the abusers precisely? And actually, well, racism's at the bottom of it. She says Black women don't want to risk their abusers being murdered.
What? Black women don't want their. Well, I don't want anyone to get murdered, but what is she getting at here?
Huh? Sorry?
You mean if perhaps if the woman who was being abused went to her brothers and dad,
Well, in her opinion,
Wait, what?
and she says, women want the abuse to stop, but we know what happens to black men in police custody.
Okay, what happens to black men in police custody?
What happens to black men in police custody?
Oh, it's not that dad and the brothers would come and cause harm to the man hurting her. It's the police that are going to murder their abuser. Okay.
Custody. They get arrested?
Got it.
Well, I guess George Floyd did.
Really? In the UK?
I mean, I don't.
They're just making things up now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's literally no evidence to show this. And in fact, I looked into this a while ago, and it turned out that it was the white working class who suffered the most police violence.
Yeah.
But
police violence isn't a major concern in this country.
No, not really. In fact, if anything, a lack of police violence is a major concern in this country.
No,
people like this are
excuse me,
stoking
no, Joshua. No. You know what happened to Erin Pritzie? Was that her name, Pritzie? Who tried to set up a shelter for men somewhere in England back in the 70s. People tried to kill her. Literally tried to murder the woman for even talking about it. I'm not kidding. that actually happened. They had to, the government had to get her mail, this woman, get her mail and go through it first to make sure there were no bombs in it. That actually happened in England in the 70s.
Oh, yes, without a doubt. But the problem, of course,
because this woman brought up the fact that men can be abused as well by women. That's why. You think these fembots today are crazy. Look into the history a little bit about Erin Pritzie. I think it's Prizzi.
police in this country is that they're utterly soft and incapable of bringing down a criminal. Yeah. Anyway, so she's constantly going on about Africa.
Does she live in Africa?
No.
I've got no evidence she's ever been to Africa.
Here's another tweet. Today, just a few of our African master drummers will stand with us briefly because we say Africa. Our culture and tradition is to give thanks, a short call and response to remember Black women such as Valerie Ford and baby RJ and others who have died violent deaths. Join us, please. Oh, it's horrible. It's terrible.
Africa either.
Okay.
But, just posting things like this, today a few of our African master drummers will stand with us briefly because we say Africa. It's like, so what?
Oh, so when we say Africa, African drummers come and stand with us. Is that
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. But like
our culture and our tradition.
I mean, in honor of the, this poor woman and child here that apparently got killed. That's terrible.
Is to give thanks. So she identifies as African in culture and tradition.
Yes.
Yep.
Which I don't know, nothing wrong with that. She wants to.
There is something wrong with that. If you're saying you're British and you're identifying first and foremost with African culture and tradition, in what way are you British? But secondly, if you're identifying as African in culture and tradition, someone asks you where you're from, then you say Africa, and this is my culture, this is my tradition.
Exactly.
This is why I'm wearing this garb.
Yeah, you can say, well, I currently reside in Hackney or whatever it is, whatever, but what? Don't get offended when you're presenting yourself as having a foreign origin, and then people ask you about your foreign origin. If you should turn up in a suit or a dress or something, it was completely normal.
I do feel a bit sorry for her because if she's British born and bred and her parents are Caribbean born and bred, none of them are African. Really, Afro-Caribbean ethnicity, but she's not African. No. She's clearly lost and searching, and she has no identity.
Yeah, I mean, for example,
our fault. Again, we haven't been welcoming and inclusive enough.
Completely,
haven't helped people integrate. She clearly hasn't integrated into English society.
Clearly, Father Robinson, you're wow. Can you be? No, it's impossible. Anyway, Erin Pizzi started the first domestic violence shelter in England in like 1971. So that's her background. So
don't even get me started about the kind of lack of, I guess we call it the heroic narrative that the English should have instilled in young people generally, not just Afro-Caribbean, but just generally about the heritage of their own country. I mean, I'm not even going to go on
excuse me, Sargon, Carl. We know what the heritage of England, a bunch of slave trading bastards from hell. even though England was the first country in the world to outlaw and essentially go out. And many lives were lost in the British Navy stopping the slave trade. Shh, don't talk about that, you evil man, you. All right, let's do one more. Odin's Men. If you listen to, I did it again. You so stupid. Copy, paste. It's not that hard. You can deal with it. Oh my God. All right. Here we go. Find your brand's high-value customers.
Where are we with Project Humanize?
The high-value customer is almost complete, sir.
I'll be the judge of that. An average order value of $25?
Oh, God.
Comfortable with touch?
Only the hand.
Now, nothing gets your blood pumping like a good cockroach roast. This guy with the purple mohawk evidently is a pickup artist. Looks like a fucking clown. How did this? I mean, this is mystery like on drugs here. Like mystery times 1,000. This guy is
Comfortable with touch?
Only the hand.
I'm known to make men less creepy.
I know.
His goal in life is to make men less creepy. Okay, look at him. There's no vibe here, is there? No, there's no, no creep going on here.
Less creepy.
I know.
Imagine having that thing walk up. I was going to say if you're a woman, but if you're just a human, that thing comes in. It's like, ugh, get out of here.
The toxic guy stinks because I have been that guy. You know, I like to think I'm a feminist.
When a dating coach
Oh,
starts
God.
off with, I'm trying to make guys less creepy because I used to be that one and I'm a feminist, it's not going to end well.
Chris Knapp.
No. Who is this guy? Chris somebody.
Happy. I'm a dating coach and pickup.
Excuse me, what? His name is Chris Happy? Get the
And I'm a feminist, it's not going to end well.
Chris
Name's
Nappy. I'm a dating
Chris Nappy.
coach
Nappy.
and pickup artist.
Attract and seduce more beautiful women.
Oh God. I think we already did Mohawk Boy. We roasted him good.
Learn how to approach beautiful girls with ease and drive them crazy with attraction.
Okay.
I don't know how this guy with the mohawk
What
thinks
the-
he's some sort of women dating coach.
He's a chick magnet, is what he is. Obvious. What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you, sir?
Expert.
Clearly.
He looks like a little bridge troll.
The art of
And I mean, he looks like a chicken. I mean, who would walk around like this guy? Just, what are you doing? Guys, he's a chicken.
seduction is critical to your success as a man.
He's a chicken-looking cockroach, I guess.
Right now, already what I'm seeing is a lot
What
of
are you
toxic
seeing, honey?
masculinity. The idea that in order to have worth as a man, you have to have some sort of level of sexual
When anybody starts off the conversation with, all I'm seeing is toxic masculinity, their opinion immediately gets devalued too. I don't.
Oh, no. That's not toxic masculinity. That's a fucking clown show. The guy with the hair. That's not toxic anything. Except you just don't want to. You watch the video, you have to go take a shower. It's like,
I want to hear, honey.
conquest, and that drives from a very fragile ego.
I love making up. You know,
Gentlemen, if you know somebody who's given this guy money to learn his pickup magic, what the? True Blood, where the hell were you driving with that, where that accident was? Kind of looked like Texas, but I couldn't really tell. Glad you made it safely. Yeah, True Blood does his MGTOW road trips. Truck driver. He was just in St. Louis. I hope you had a good trip down to Joplin. Women love cock. Chicks dig the hamster. I rarely wear underwear. Chicks dig me, or something like that. I mean, he's got, what has he got? Jesus or Mary on his arm there? What the hell? Hold on.
Conquest, and that drives
See what
from
this
a
is
very
about.
fragile ego.
I love making out.
Yeah, he's got a Jesus and Mary. Tattoos. Okay.
You know,
Vince Kelvin, the
Jeez.
makeouts, hands down, over 230 makeouts last year.
Who's keeping track of makeouts and why?
Yeah, how do you keep track of your makeouts? What kind of loser do you have to be to say, I've got 230 makeouts in the last year? Now, it's probably one of these affiliate deals, right? So this weirdo is paying somebody else to promote his shit on TikTok.
Like, I wonder.
When they say 230 makeouts, I think we know what they're saying. Slay some cheese.
If he has trouble feeling his emotions and like he wants that high of making out with girls.
Yeah, he's just trouble feeling his emotions. He's one of those INTJXYZ
To
people.
feel something in his heart.
Oh,
Was this guy 14? Jesus, he's making out and he's keeping track of it. I mean, come on, bro. Hit the home run.
I don't think he's talking about making out there, sir. I think he
All of those makeouts seem consensual, so there isn't much that I can say. If y'all both like it, y'all both do y'all thing.
Well, we hope it was consensual, for God's sake, or else it's a crime. I don't think this guy's criminal. I don't think anyone's implying that.
I really mean it, genuinely. I kind of forgot where I was going. And what are your names?
We
Wait,
should do
like
the
a
whole
civilized
thing,
hello.
man.
A fast one, though, because I got
Okay, notice these women's body language. They do.
Yeah, I did. They're running away from this weirdo. Yeah, I think that probably indicates a lack of interest on their part. Call me crazy. I'm not a pickup roach, but that's kind of the impression I got.
Do not want to talk to him. It
No.
does not matter that
Nobody wants to talk to this dude. Look at him.
he is.
All these.
Then again, he might fit in today's environment. He might be, one of the alphabet
Weird
people.
gotcha
You never
moments
know.
on the street, social media cringe shit are awkward
Oh,
right from the
God.
get-go. And this guy just seems awkward. So I don't know how women are gonna go, oh yeah, come back to my place, bro. Let's make out.
Yeah, let's hook up. I mean, who? What kind of a? Oh my God! Doesn't it make you wonder? I mean, what kind of a? What woman would agree to this?
them. They're not interested.
Jesus.
Are you like
No kidding. I noticed that. Thank you.
a bouncer for a club or something? It's Club Melanie. I've been wanting to come into Club Melanie forever.
Oh my God. Ooh. I actually will need a shower after this video. That was fucking super nuclear cringe.
You guys never let me in.
I don't know how this guy's selling his dating service.
God only knows, man. What are you doing?
These are the pickup lines. Now,
Oh,
granted, this
God.
is all contrived on the street bullshit. And
It's probably mostly bullshit.
it's not real. But if he's trying to push this, I'm just figuring out who's buying it. It's like the Liver King saying, bro, I'm not on PEDs. And you find out he's on PEDs.
Yeah. Yeah, Liver King. You heard of this guy? He's a big, beefy dude. And apparently he's,
Yeah, I'm coming in,
not all natural. You know what I'm saying?
even if I have to use force.
Oh, God. Oh, no. No.
Melanie, today I'm entering your club.
Okay, first of all, if I was her,
I'd call the fucking police. Is what I would do. That's what I would do.
would have not entertained all of that. To
Nope.
me, it was kind of obvious that she wasn't really trying to talk. So I feel like
Now, this girl's the nicest one of the bunch. She's understanding, not the toxic masculinity, cat woman feminist, but this guy's off-putting. I mean, this is his best stuff. Now, I understand it's for clicks and views, but the guy's off-putting, and he's selling this shit to simps, I guess.
It's not just women. That if that thing walked up to me on the street, I would run. Ew.
you don't have to push it at that point.
Yeah.
I don't like unconsensual touching. I hate when guys touch me.
Yeah, I'm not a
No,
fan.
You're not
no,
entitled.
That's sexual assault, by the way. If somebody touches you without permission, just in case you didn't know.
To women's attention.
Why do you think she said no thank you so politely?
Because a lot of women are afraid to be aggressive or assertive when stating no. Because
Please.
again, men have a habit of
Again, are women strong? You how powerful? Go girl, fishes, bicycles. Super fucking Wonder Woman. But you're afraid to say no in broad daylight, assertively, to this guy. Really.
Kind of assaulting us for not being polite enough.
Well, I mean, he did say. Now, of course, we assume he was joking, but he said, well, I'll have to get in there by force. Yeah, that's not good.
Here's the problem with this weirdo is because what does assaulting mean? Does that mean, hey, what's your name? I want to get your telephone number. Is that an assault?
It is if she's not attracted to him. Yeah. Yes.
Now, I think of assault as like you touch somebody and you shouldn't be touching them. But, with these weirdos, these Gen Z morons, you don't know anymore.
Well, from a female's perspective, you can do it, hamster. You can. From the female's perspective, if she's not attracted to him, he's creepy. And it could be considered assault. Yes.
We are being deceived.
Epic time.
The border crisis is not like what we've been told.
Okay.
Behind the 5 million illegal immigrants.
Okay. For later.
Surprise.
Hi.
I'm sorry, lady, that you had to. Ooh.
Wow.
Apparently, this is Jubilee. It's called the hot seat. So something new they're doing.
Hello.
What? The. Ooh.
What is
Nice
that
to
thing?
meet
you
you.
Likewise, you comfortable with touch?
Well, she did extend her hand, I suppose. Probably just being polite. But right now you're assaulting her because you're a fucking weirdo.
Only the hand.
For you, yes. Yes, sir. Not you ain't getting none of this, you know what I'm saying?
Now the guy's totally awkward. She
Oh,
puts her hand out for a handshake.
Right.
And he says, are you comfortable touch? Well, yeah, no shit. I just put my hand out for a handshake. And she realized this guy's not getting it. So yeah.
I think it's part of his game. Are you comfortable with the touch? What is he like? Who is what was that movie with what's his face? God, I can't even think of it.
We can shake hands because I just put my damn hand out and that's it.
Yes,
I think we're in a day and age where you ask first.
Yeah,
I think a lot of
be smart.
men and people out there need help. So I guess it's a good thing that you guys are helping them, but it just gotta, not cross boundaries.
These young men don't need as much help as you think. They need to get out from behind the damn computer, get involved in things, real life stuff. And they wouldn't need help because they get rejected enough. They go, okay, I'm creepy. I have to stop.
I'm Confidence Chris on TikTok. The reason I think I give good dating advice is because I know what the toxic guy thinks because I have been that guy.
Okay. I have been Mr. Toxic.
What's your opinion on feminists?
Oh, God.
I like to think I'm a feminist.
Oh. Okay. All righty.
Chris, let's start off with I was the creepy guy and I'm a feminist. That doesn't sound like I'm getting alpha male energy, bro.
With feminism.
As a girl, you be with whoever the you want to be, right? There should be guys in life that you're like, I f with you, but realistically, you're not that cool.
Oh, this is him here. Okay.
And I'm down to just fuck you. I don't think you should hold back.
Okay.
I honestly don't think you should hold back if you want to fuck the guy because he's hot and he doesn't have anything else going on for him.
All right, so
okay.
Not terrible advice. It seems like common sense, but somehow or the other, people need this advice. Like people are going to do their thing, whether they get advice on TikTok. It's human nature. They're down to whatever. They're going to be down to the O-ring entrance.
I understand where the opinion's coming from, but I don't really like the language because it's like objectifying women as like a sexual object.
Women have
excuse me. I fucking hear this. What the hell do you think we're trying to do as men and women? What do you think we do to go on dates? Of course we want to. Sorry.
Objectified themselves.
Oh my God! You just want to get laid. Yeah, that's why I'm dating.
Social media, they're half naked with thongs, OnlyFans. Hey, I'm strong, independent, hashtag girl boss. I'm going to do whoever I want. So they've objectified themselves. They've devalued the currency.
Well, I mean, aside from that, what's the point of dating? If you ask women out or men or you want to go on dates, well, what's the fucking point? If it isn't eventually to get bumping uglies, that's the idea. Oh, no, you see. Men should just want to take women on dates because we like free food and we like to do things and have experiences, but just not that though. Right.
Just like I wouldn't talk about a man like that.
Yeah, you would.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to f somebody just because you want to f them. You
Okay.
don't have to always be looking for a relationship, and that goes for men and women.
All right, let's go.
That is true, but when you advertise on social media, men who've got any worth don't like it. They know things go on. Not your TikTok jam, your Instagram. Guys are like, I think I'm going to hard pass. You don't have enough damn common sense to realize I don't need you advertising this.
Our biggest icks for girls. Hygiene.
Okay, one ick I
What?
have is when men use the word ick. Okay, that's a girl thing. That's for the girl.
Oh, okay.
I would agree with her. The guy saying ick. Was he saying icky next? I mean, come
Icky.
on. And this is stupid.
Oh, it's just so icky.
Like, if people know basic hygiene,
I'll say icky. I'll say ick just to piss her off because I'm just that kind of guy.
they need to start way before this.
I mean, did he say something about hygiene? We might have to go look at the whole thing here.
Basic hygiene. They need to start way before this.
basic-
Girl thing. That's for the girl.
I would
Okay, one ick
Wait,
I have is
hold on.
like, I think I'm going to hard pass. You don't have enough damn common sense to realize I don't need you advertising this.
Our biggest icks for girls. Hygiene.
Hygiene. So you're speaking to men as if we don't have what? We don't know how to take a shower. We don't know how to put the deodorant on and cologne and shit, and we don't wipe our own asses or not. Okay, it's hygiene.
okay. One
Yeah.
ick I have is when men use the word ick. Okay, that's a girl
Oh.
thing. That's for the girl.
I would
Okay.
agree with her. The guy saying ick. Was he say icky next? I mean, come on.
Probably.
And this is stupid.
Icky
Like,
poo.
if people know basic hygiene, they need to start way before this. Like, I think people got that figured out.
Yeah, I think we get that under control.
I'm sorry. Okay, continuing.
I mean, is this just a not so subtle slam at men? I don't get it. Who the fuck doesn't take a shower? Who doesn't clean themselves? What?
You know, no one loves a smelly coochie. You know.
Oh God, he's talking about the women. He's talking about the girls.
Not a bad. You just a regular white girl from a small white town.
He was talking about the girls with their hygiene. Well, I would hope that an adult woman would know to
Wow, this guy.
Did you really just say smelly coochie?
Yep.
Sorry, the BBL's got to go. That shelf is looking a little sus. You tell me.
What the hell is BBL? BBL? The hell is that?
Come on.
Guess it's a big
Okay.
butt.
I'm personally not really for the BBLs, but if they're making women, if women,
I don't know.
Brazilian butt lift. Okay. Yeah, fake as fuck. No.
Think about a BBL, but I like a nice thick caboose. I guess this guy's got to come up with TikTok shit. I mean, you're coming out with hundreds of videos a week. You got to get people to watch. I guess you got to say stupid shit.
want to do
I mean,
that,
didn't some women get that done? I guess had ass implants or
and want to look that way, then it's not really up to like this person or this guy to decide that it's in or out. I mean, tribal tattoos are out.
I mean, is it okay that we have a preference though? I prefer that or I don't prefer that. I mean, it's fair enough.
And
I think you got him there. Tribal tattoos are out. But does he have the tribal armband? You guys remember those when they first came out?
I mean, the first dude with the rooster head, Mary and Joseph tattooed.
The 90s,
or
everybody
Jesus.
had them. You were like a Celtic warrior Viking.
and he still has these.
Yeah, kind of looks like a tribal.
Moving on.
You really want a guy to like you a lot, you make it f***ing hard.
Yeah.
Think about the feeling you have when you hike a small mountain. You're like, all right, I don't care. But like, think about the feeling you would have if you climbed Mount Everest. Now, imagine the same thing about the way a guy was trying to go after you. If you make it Mount Everest, they're going to appreciate you a lot more.
Now, this is
Now, excuse me, sir. Listen to how the girls respond to this.
This isn't bad. The women
oppression.
Just giving it up after one swipe on
Handmaid's
Tinder and then
Tale.
go, why doesn't he like me? Well,
You just wanna
gave
be
it
in the kitchen with this,
up and he realizes you do that with every guy you've met.
Yeah.
So you're not special. I mean, decent advice,
I
Chris.
do not agree with that at all.
Of course you don't. Nope.
I feel like
course
this
you don't.
kind of video is kind of is insidious and its impact because it's saying to women like, oh, you know, make things harder. But what that message sends to men is, oh, it's not that she isn't interested in me. That no didn't really mean no. That no actually meant try harder.
It always has to get to back to rape somehow, right? Always. No, of course, what the guy is saying is, it don't be so easy. Don't just give it out to every dude you run into. Make it a little more difficult. It's going to be more valuable if it's not so easy. That's all.
If guys don't understand that,
not raping the woman. Just come on.
This video doesn't matter. So if a guy doesn't realize no means no,
exactly.
You could make videos all day. It's not going to make any difference. This lesbian dance theory major is kind of missing it, like the real world. She doesn't know much about guys. She's been ran through on Tinder and now has got a chip on her shoulder.
Well, it could be, but I mean, when I'm getting a little more than tired of this bullshit that some of these, as he said, lesbian green-haired dance theory majors, where do they get the impression that men do not understand when a woman says no, it means no? And if he doesn't understand no means no, it's rape. And then you call the police and he goes to jail. Do they really believe men are this fucking stupid that we don't understand this? It's amazing to me. You know who doesn't understand that no means no? Rapists. They don't care. Go on.
And that's a lot more dangerous of a narrative.
Right.
How's it going, Chris? Thought you'd be taller.
Thanks. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
So he's got the short guy complex. Now, his advice isn't terrible. The Mohawk dude stuff is creepy, unnecessary.
King. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You give me a hug?
Yeah, you give me a hug.
Oh my God.
Oh my I know you only saw a handful of the videos, but
I think I've actually seen your stuff on TikTok. That's why I think I was confused, because I've seen stuff on like your other stuff on TikTok that actually gave really solid advice.
You know, some of Chris's advice isn't bad. I know it's got to be hyperbolic for social media consumption. But man, if you're watching this and you're sitting behind a computer, you're 20 years old, get outside, go do something.
Don't send your money to this guy. I mean, listen to his videos, the free stuff. You might get some advice. Don't mail these people money. Come on now.
Job somewhere, manual labor. Quit relying on these gurus to help you. You got to figure this shit out yourself.
Like the issue though is that like a lot of people do see these like quick things. They make 1 second judgment and then it's like this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the problem with the internet.
That will be called TikTok, and you're on it, moron.
Any of my videos, I think you said
or Tinder.
One of them was insidious.
Not intentionally insidious, but I do think it has the potential to bring the wrong message to the wrong people.
You know, this gender study major here came off pretty hard. I'm like, wow, she is unbearable, insufferable. And at the end, she's like, it could come across wrong to the guys on this spectrum, you know, sitting in their basement. You think any of these hookup coaches make a difference? It's just another grift to make money.
Yeah. Yep. Just another cockroach. Roasting the cockroaches. Now, I understand Ike with Scotty's Side is live now, and some other people, some I'm going to check out. But you guys, let's read a couple comments here. Diogenes Dworkinson. Fucking anyone is fine. No, exactly. Yeah, that. But I mean, that's it seems the current modern attitude of women. It's a fuck fest. Obviously, not all women. Right. Not all women are out there running around like that, but it seems like enough of them are. Rusty Rivers, hello. It looks even worse from... I know. What the hell is up with that? Yeah. David Graham says, as a kitten myself, meow means meow. 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 Ballistic Zero, hello. Yes, they believe we are that dumb. It's absolutely amazing. You know, we're too stupid to take a shower and keep ourselves clean and smelling nice. And of course, we don't understand no means no. We're just a bunch of freaking stupid asses, I guess. Diogenes Dworkinson. I'd point out that making it hard for the man and not putting out easily are not the same thing. A nice woman is nice, and a woman who busts balls and a lot of cats. Well, I mean... I think his point is that just don't pass it out so easily. don't jump in. You meet a guy an hour later, you're fucking. He's not saying that's what he's saying. It's not that make it hard, so the guy rapes you. That's not what he's trying to say. Clearly, but I mean, normal people understand that. The green dye-haired lesbian dance theory people don't. And the reason they don't is because they can't, because it's a grift. Anyway, I don't have to beat the dead horse. All right, you guys, have a good night. I will see you tomorrow. Sayonara.